Coming from the farthest reaches of the universe to challenge the worst toy repairs on Earth is the most powerful hero ever, toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi, and in today's video we are going to be trying to repair some of these vintage Thundercats Lion-o figures from LJN. Now over the years, as you can see, I've collected quite a few of them. Every once in a while I'll find one of these in a really sort of broken state, and I've just been putting them in a bag thinking at some point I'll have a go at repairing them, and today is the day when I try to do that. I have no idea actually if I can fix these because I've never worked on them before, but I've got so many of them in this sort of busted up state, I thought it would be a good thing to at least have a go and see what we can do with them. Every one of these is broken in some way. Some of them, the lights don't work, other ones arms are missing, the battle-matic action on the arm doesn't work. I mean, they are all really in a pretty terrible state. I've also managed to collect a few accessories. I think I've got enough to complete one. I've got a very battered up sword of omens, not quite sure what's happened to that. I've got the glove here. That's the only piece of this whole pile that's actually in pretty good condition. And then we've got a few of the power rings. These ones I think are pretty reasonable. These ones have terrible corrosion in them. So yeah, it's really a pretty sort of sorry state pile of Lion-os, but I think we can probably do something with it. So let's take a look at them, see what's wrong and see what we need to fix. Okay, so here we have the Lion-o figures that I've got. As you can see, there are 4 of them, all in a sort of fairly similar state of disrepair. We've got this chap over on the right who his battle-matic action does actually work. You can see his arm is sort of twisting there, but his arm is completely detached, so that is a pretty serious issue with him. He's fairly loose and floppy, bit of paint wear on him. Shall we check that his eyes work? I have one of these working power packs. It's missing the little clip, but the actual power pack bit does work. If I plug that in the back, can we see if he works? Do you know what? I don't think that one works. So he has got a broken arm and a broken light feature. This chap here in the middle is missing a leg. He's also incredibly floppy because it looks like he's started to sort of split apart. Otherwise, apart from being dirty, he's probably in fairly reasonable condition. Does his battle-matic action work? Yeah, he has a working battle-matic action. Let's try the light on the back of this as well. So let's plug that in. Oh, actually, his eyes work. You can just about see it there under my filming lights. So, yeah, apart from a broken leg, not too bad, that one. This chap here, the battle-matic action doesn't work. He's got ink or something all over him. He's incredibly floppy. And again, I don't think the lights work on this one. I can just test that. Nope, he doesn't work. So again, fairly sorry state one, very floppy. And another one here with a broken leg, and this one has got pretty bad paint wear on his face as well. Does his battle-matic action? Oh right, yeah, his arm does work. Got terrible fading on his legs as well. And we'll check out the lights on the back to see if this one works. Plug that in like that. Oh yeah, I can see his eyes actually do light up. So his eyes, yeah, you can just about see those working. So his eyes do light up, but overall they are in a fairly terrible state. So today I'm going to try and fix them. I think the big problem with these is going to be opening them up because the lights don't work on a couple of them. We are going to have to split them apart. But I've seen a few of these sort of figures over the years that are like this one here, that they've started to split apart. I have a Mum-Ra in much the same condition. So I think we will be able to actually split them. So that will be the first challenge, split them apart so we can get inside, because we're going to need to get inside, certainly to fix the leg, certainly to fix this battle-matic action. Essentially, if we don't get them apart, I don't actually think we can fix them. And at this stage, I'm still not sure whether they can be fixed, but it will be a fun challenge. First thing though, I think we need to do is actually give all of these a good clean. They are filthy. These are ones that I've just sort of picked up, as I say, so they are in a terrible state. Well, actually, that one's hand is split as well, so that might need a bit of repair. Yeah, I think the first thing to do is give them a good clean. I'm going to use hot soapy water and a toothbrush. Because there's electronics inside, I am not going to submerge these. I will just wash them out of the water and use the brush to bring a little bit of water on them, because I don't want to get the insides wet on the ones that do work. So let's give everything a good clean. I'll probably give some of these bits a clean as well, same sort of method, because there are metallic bits inside. And for the ones that have got real bad corrosion, we'll leave those till later. After a good clean, they are already looking a whole lot better. There's just lots of little marks and sort of scratches over them, but most of those just clean off. So you can see I've now got 4, although damaged figures, they actually look a whole lot better. The worst one still is actually this one on the end. There's some ink or something sort of embedded into the plastic. It won't clean off at all. Maybe if we have some nice weather, I can try using some benzoyl peroxide spot cream and see if that will remove it. But yeah, this one, I just can't seem to get those marks off at all. The others though, actually don't look too bad. So we are now going to have to try and get inside and see what's going on with them. And I think this one in the middle is going to be my sort of sacrificial Lion-o, because as I say, I haven't actually worked on these before, so I'm not quite sure how they are constructed or how they need to be sort of fixed up. So this one is already a little bit split down the side, so let's try and split this one apart fully and see if we can fix it. I can actually see the remains of the leg post is still inside there, so if we can get that out, that would be a very easy fix. But the first thing to do is to actually try and get him apart. His battle-matic action works and the lights work on this one, so yeah, it will be a good test to see how this thing actually needs to be fixed. So yeah, let's split him apart. As this one has already split, or maybe someone's had a go at splitting it, I'm not quite sure. I can see there's bits of glue or something inside the leg there. Is that glue? Just give that a quick sort of poke just to see. Yeah, I think that might be glue. Maybe someone has already had a go at fixing this and sort of given up. So let's just see what we can do. I'm going to use a knife here. I'm not going to be particularly delicate with this. I can see it's split most of the way around. It looks like it's just being held on this side, maybe on this shoulder. So yeah, I'm just going to give this a sort of twist and see what happens. Sometimes you can hear things creak and crack, and that will give you an idea what's inside it. Just about see some bits in there. I can see a post in there, maybe a little bit of cutting and twisting, and we'll get this apart. But yeah, I'm just going to give it a go. Oh, well, there's the missing leg post, so that's what's snapped off there. That actually looks like quite an easy fix, but I'm intrigued to get in to see the rest of this, so I'm going to still carry on and get cutting. There was a post there, which is what I cut, which sort of enabled me to get that part sort of prized apart a bit more. I can see there's a post on this side, so I'll cut that one as well. Maybe that will start to free everything up. Yeah, that's given it a little bit more leeway. Alright, and I can see there's some equivalent posts up the top end of the body. Hopefully I can get in there and cut those through the shoulders. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad. There's certainly something inside this. It's like it's got, yeah, I'm not quite sure what that is, but there's something, seems a bit gluey inside there, so maybe someone has had a go at this. But yeah, we are getting somewhere. So there's a post just about here inside, so I possibly can just cut this as well with my knife, hopefully not cut myself. Alright, yeah, that's that one cut. That means there's probably an equivalent on the other side, so if I can split this shoulder a little bit, we should be able to cut that, and then the whole figure will come apart. There we go. And we are in.
Toy-polloi. That is incorrect. Try again.
Now that I'm inside, I can see that there's something in this Lion-o figure. I think it's Evo stick. I would say at some point someone maybe has had a go at fixing this, and they've just put loads and loads of Evo stick inside. You can see all of this brown stuff. This is old glue, and it's not really stuck on particularly well. Evo stick is a strange glue. It's a sort of contact adhesive. You spread it onto the sort of both surfaces, let it dry for a bit, and then push it together, and it will stick. But it doesn't really stick to things like plastic. It's great for fabric, but you can see on this, you can actually sort of just start to peel it away. So I'm just going to give this a quick clean out, make the whole thing look a bit tidier. But yeah, this is old Evo stick. Once we get rid of that, I think the rest should be able to be tidied up and cleaned up, and we'll get him put back together. I can certainly see an easy way of fixing this leg. So this one will be a pretty easy fix, and then we can move on to the others. And now I've had a look inside, it's not actually that complicated. There's a few little bits going on, but most of it's pretty straightforward. Now that I've taken all the glue out, I can actually see what's going on, and it's a very simple construction, this toy. I've never actually seen this battle-matic action before, but I can see how it works now, and it gives me hope that I should be able to fix it on some of the other versions of this Lion-o once we get onto those. In this one though, we just need to fix his leg, and that should be a fairly simple process. We've got the sort of remnants of the little pip that should be on there, and that's sheared off. Gluing that on is not going to be an option, it just won't be strong enough. I could drill a hole through and insert some Lego, but as there's so much space inside this toy, I'm going to do a very strong fix and just use a screw. So I've got some small but fairly long screws here. I'm going to drill a hole through this piece. I'll drill into this one a bit as well, and then we'll screw the screw in, and that should do a very strong fix, and that should mean that this figure will never break in this position again, and then we can glue him all back together. So let's get a couple of holes drilled and this screwed in place, and we'll put him back together. So there you go, you can see that that is now screwed in place. So I drilled a couple of pilot holes, a small pilot hole and then one that was slightly smaller than the screw itself, and I've just screwed that on, and it's really very firm. I don't think that will ever have an issue again. The other leg is a little bit loose, so I've just wrapped some PTFE tape around the top of that. That should tighten that up. We can now go ahead and put this figure back together. It's a fairly straightforward process because you just have to slot the legs in like that, put that arm in at the top and then slot everything in. And we know that the lights work on this one, so I'm not going to bother trying to do anything with those. And there we go, that's starting to feel pretty firm. In fact, I could probably do with a little bit more PTFE tape on that one. It's just a bit too loose, so I'm going to wrap a little bit more onto that, and then we can glue it together. And I'm going to use some plastic weld to stick this back together, because I can feel that the plastic on this body is the right sort of plastic for plastic weld. And that should join it all back together, and we'll have our first working Lion-o. And there we go, I've now got one of these Lion-os back together and working. But as you can see, there is still a whole pile of busted Lion-os there. So join me in the second part of this project when we get to grips with fixing up more of the issues that are very common with Lion-os, including getting his arms back on. We'll fix another leg, we'll sort out the wiring inside to make sure the lights work, and we'll also deal with all of the paint rubs that these figures seem to suffer with. And also we will get to grips with the Sword of Omens, because as you can see, the Sword of Omens that I have is in a very sorry state. So there's a whole load more to do on this project. This first video has been really interesting for me because I've been learning how these figures are constructed and how all of the mechanisms inside them work, and that is a big part of toy restoration. You've got to work out how something works before you can get to grips with how to fix it. So hopefully this first part of the project has been of interest to you. If it has, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching Toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos.